Happy Mental Push Up Monday, baby. We here. If this is your first time joining, my name is Andrea Fitzgerald. I'm an author, a speaker, and also a person really obsessed with personal growth and development. So each week we get in the gym and we do our mental push-ups because the most challenging and rewarding work that we will ever do is on ourselves. So today, friends, the title of today's mental push-up is feelings. So deep in my feelings. Yeah, well, I'm not LMA. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about feelings, y'all. But not the emotional ones, but we talking about I don't know. But we talking about how sometimes, I don't know about you, but I be getting in my feelings and I don't be feeling like I be like, oh, I ain't doing it. I don't feel like it. Like right now, honestly, like this mental push-up, I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't feel like it. I mean, gosh, who's gonna know if I don't do it? But yeah, here we are. But as I told y'all 4 weeks ago, or I guess a month now, I've been on this new fitness journey, y'all. Like for the past about 4 months, like I just been loving it. I was telling my sister about that. I was like, I've just been loving it, eating whatever I want. I haven't had to exercise, because I was injured. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is great. Well, now I'm getting back into it. And even business wise, like getting back into it. And it's a challenge because you get in your feelings. You haven't been doing something for so long, and now you're getting back into it because your feelings, they get the best of you. You start negotiating with yourself, and you say, "Oh, maybe I'll go tomorrow." Maybe and you talk yourself out of doing the thing. But a pattern that I've noticed with myself lately is just sometimes just allowing my feelings to kind of run what I'm doing. And with greatness, your feelings can't run this thing. They just can't. So I just want to share with you a couple of things that I've learned from this, but also just some things to consider as we move beyond how we feel in the moment. Now, the first thing I want to say, always a disclaimer, is that I am not saying that you should not acknowledge how you feel. You should. It's okay. Listen, I'm learning that every time I go to therapy and the work that I do outside therapy is just asking myself, how do I really feel about this? So I think it's always important to acknowledge like how you feel in the moment, right? Like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like own it, acknowledge it. So what? It doesn't. Yes, it's all about how we respond to the feeling. Feelings are just information. We know that. So yeah, just acknowledge how you feel. That's the disclaimer. Like, you don't feel like doing it, own it. I'm saying it, I'm being honest with myself. And I'm saying I ain't feel like doing my mental push up today. But yes, here we are. I don't feel like going to the gym some days. But yeah, here we go, right? So yes, that's the first thing. Acknowledge how you feel, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The second thing is I learned this from Mel Robbins, and I think I heard someone say this on a podcast recently. And I think the more that I embrace this idea, I'm learning to just be like, let me just do it anyway. Um, and that's the reality is when it comes to some things, you're just never gonna feel like it. You're not. Unfortunately, I hate to break the news to you. You're just not gonna feel like it, period. Like, I know when I think about building a business, it looks glamorous, like, on your social media, it looks glamorous when you're speaking on stage, but the stuff behind the work is so boring. You don't feel like it, like sending emails, doing a billion posts, you know, going to schools. Like, it's not super exciting. Those are the boring things. Sometimes you don't feel like it. But you got to do it anyway because when you think about the long term of what you really want, then just knowing that you're not going to feel like it, so like, let me just do this anyway. I'll feel better for it. It's just like sometimes I don't feel like exercising, but when I go, I feel like so much better. But yeah, you're never going to feel like it. And I think the other thing to consider is that sometimes a pattern that, as I said, I've been recognizing myself is like sometimes our feelings lie to us. They don't necessarily tell the truth. We go on our feelings and we assign meaning to it, and it's not the absolute truth. It's really not. Like it's not the absolute truth. It's just, hey, this is how I feel. Like we talked before, I'm gonna acknowledge it, but it does not mean that it's the absolute law. The meaning that I assign to it means this is what it is. Oh, I'm tired. That just means that I just can't go to the gym. Well, I had to say to myself, well, Andrea, you decided to wait till the end of the day to do this. Like, but we said we're gonna do it, so we're gonna do it, right? But yes, It's not the absolute law of things. And I think sometimes for me, I say, well, I feel tired, so I can't listen. Yeah, that's not the absolute truth. So just know that it's not the absolute law about how you feel, right? You can acknowledge it, you can own it, but sometimes they'll lie to you, you know? So you just want to be cognizant of that. But then the flip side of this, when we actually do take the action, it triggers more action. It makes you want to do it. I know sometimes, like I talk to my sister about this all the time. Like when I get in my feelings and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, and then you do it, and it took like 5 minutes. It's like folding clothes or something. I know I'll say to myself sometimes like, oh, I don't feel like doing that, and it took like 5 minutes. No big deal. Done. Don't have to deal with it. So it triggers more action. Like when you do one piece of it, then it kickstarts something else. Like I know every time I speak, I say to myself, okay, how can I get three more? Because I took a step towards my goal. But I'm like, okay, let me go get three more. But it just kickstarts action. So when we take action, despite how we feel, it makes us want to take more action. And the other thing about it is it builds our confidence. We start to trust ourselves. We start to believe in ourselves because we are honoring the commitments that we make to ourselves when we go beyond how we feel in the moment. Um, and as I said before, like just do it anyway. We know we're not gonna feel like it. You know, acknowledge it, own it. Know you're not gonna feel like it, but just do it anyway. It's that simple, and it doesn't have to be this massive thing. You know, like right now, like I told you guys, I'm the heaviest I've ever been, guys. I'm telling you, I'm the heaviest I've ever been, but I'm not even focused on that. I'm just like, hey man, I'm gonna focus on great habits. That's it. But yeah, just do it anyway. You'll feel better for it, and it's one step towards where you're trying to go. So just keep that in mind. So feelings, we so deep in our feelings, but we getting out of those things and we taking action anyway. So here's our action step. Drop in the comments. What is one thing you get in your feelings about? What is it? What is that one thing for you? You like, oh, I get in my feelings and I don't take action. What is that? So drop that in the comments and then write down what is one small thing that you're gonna do to work on that. What are you gonna do to counter that? Next time you get in your feelings, I'm going to boom. Right? What is that? So drop that in the comments. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And as you go out this week, I want you to keep that rookie state of mind. Well, what's that, Fitz? Remember, the level up is in the losses. Problems are a privilege. And yes, you might be new to this, but I know you're true to this because you're in this moment right now. And I believe in each one of you. So get out there this week and do those mental push ups. And I'm gone.